Do you know what data lakes are? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you about what they are, what benefits do they have, what features do they offer to organizations, and what business problems they can help you to solve. Hello everyone and welcome to this lesson. In today's video, we're going to talk about data lakes. What are the main benefits, features, and what are the main applications in the real world? Today, we live surrounded by data. Information is everywhere. In companies, we have internal information, external information, we have customers' information, we have partners' information. And in order for companies to remain competitive, we need to really get insights from that information. With that being said, let's dive into the concept of what a data lake is. A data lake is a big data repository where companies can store large amounts of information. That information can be structured or unstructured or semi-structured. Example of this kind of information, we have data files, video files, images, text files, JSON files for the most technical guys watching this video. We have that kind of information and the company can really take decisions based on the analysis that we do in that information. Now, you might be wondering what are the benefits and what is the value of a data lake. So the value of a data lake lies first on the large volumes of data that it can process. This is powered by cloud technologies, different vendors like Azure, AWS, and you really have the power of scaling in the cloud. So today, if you have, let's say, for example, 1 terabyte of data, and then you need to increase to 2 terabytes or to 100 terabytes, that is going to be a seamless addition, because with the power of the cloud, you can scale your data warehouse, your data lake, into whatever size is needed. Now, in terms of AI and machine learning, you can also power the different tools that the cloud providers make available in order to get insights from the data that you have. And now, last but not least, in terms of security, data needs to be really complying with the privacy and with the security regulations of the country where the data is stored in. Because your customer data, your partner data, and your business data needs to comply with all the privacy standards in order for it to not be exposed, to not be publicly available, and in order to secure your information in the data lake in the cloud. Now let's talk about the differences between a data lake, a database, and a data warehouse. Well, let's first start talking about the different models of organizing the information in an organization. So the first one that we have is OLTP, which stands for online transactional processing. That is very suitable for day-to-day transactions a business have. For example, if you have an e-commerce site, then the purchases from the customers are going to be stored in a transactional database. That's the first topic that we need to understand. Then the second one is OLAP, which stands for online analytical processing. And online analytical processing is for handling large volumes of data and extracting analysis from that information. The thing with the database and the data warehouse is that they are able to process structured data. And what do I mean with the structured data? I mean, the data is organized into rows and columns so that we can process that information. Now, in the other hand, we have the data lakes. With the data lake, it's a completely different approach. With the data lakes, we have the information not in a structured way, but we can have the information structured, unstructured, or semi-structured. And what do I mean with this? We can have blob files, we can have TXT files, we can have videos, we can have you name it, whatever kind of files that you find in your organization, and the ability to process them in the data lake becomes critical for the organization. So wrapping up, the difference lies on the structure of the information that we have for databases, data warehouse, and data lakes. And finally, the possibility of handling that information and the approach that we need to follow is a completely different approach. So in a nutshell, the idea of having the data lake versus the data warehouse, it depends really on the needs of your organization. Now, you might be wondering how organizations apply the data lakes in a day-to-day operations. So we have different examples in different industries. Healthcare industry, for example, gather information about patients and treatments in order to provide better outcomes for the patient. In the financial industry, we have the different bank statements, we have the different bank numbers and different bank assets in order for them to do better investments on their capital. And finally, we have streaming services like the ones we use day to day, like Netflix, HBO, etc. Those type of streaming services, companies use that data to provide better recommendations. So when you see, for example, some of the recommendations in Netflix, that is powered by a data lake. So those are real life examples. There are so many examples about the application of a data lake, but those are the ones more representative in the industries. If you enjoyed this video, I encourage you to subscribe in our YouTube channel and follow us in a LinkedIn page, so you can get access to more content about technological trends. And leave us a comment if you have any questions or have any suggestions for further topics that we can talk about.